On time today, and let me see if I can move this here, make some space. Right, so I can't really look at the chat here. Let me see if I can actually look at who's in the chat. No, I can't see it here. Oh, maybe here. Oh, there we go. I can actually see the chat here. Okay, so we are going to ink another page of Birdking Volume 4. And okay, let me see if I can show you stuff here. Okay, I have to light a little. Okay, so we've got 3 pages to ink. Obviously, we're not going to ink them all today, but I just wanted to show you the roughs that I've prepared for it. This is page 55. You can see a little bit of overlap here, which when you put it through the light table, it kind of makes sense. You can actually see all of it. So yeah, let me see. Oh, hey Rob, nice to have you here. It's been a while. And then I've got page 54, which I've got this really cool shot here of Young and a bunch of soldiers and a Ghoul champions here, and a cool shot of Bianca. And the page that we are inking today is page 53, which is composed of this aerial view of Amelia running through the gates, running past Birdking, and then warning Bianca about incoming soldiers. So that's the page we're going to be inking today. Let me move this here. We're going to put all of these pages away. And as usual, I'm going to tape that onto my light table. And let me move stuff around. And we'll take it from there. So I'll align it here. Make sure that the light is coming through. I'm all right, Rob. I'm a bit tired, actually. I didn't sleep quite well last night. God knows why. But other than that, I'm fine. I've been working all day. I've been sketching, I've been inking, I've been packing orders for the shop. I've been prepping stuff for Patreon. I've been replying to emails of new stuff coming in. And that's kind of what I've been up to today. It's been a really busy day, which is a good thing. But I wish I had more of my usual energy. So I think most likely I'll have to take an early night tonight. So yeah, that's kind of it. All right, let's see. Okay, ink there. And then we're going to tape the corners of the paper as well so it doesn't move. It's all masking tape, by the way, so it's nothing fancy, just masking tape. And on top, we're going to put the actual paper where the inking goes. And as a lot of you know, this is the paper I use for my comics at the moment. It's not, you know, it's not the right paper or the wrong paper. It's just the paper that I'm using right now, which is, it has a GSM of 140, which is kind of thick enough for it to feel premium, but thin enough for me to be able to see the roughs through the light table. I went to France to sign books recently, to sign some books, and there was a guy there who bought one of my originals from my Paris gallery, and he was quite shocked at how thin the paper I use for my comics is. And apparently the people who framed the pages for him, because he bought a couple actually, told him that the art was done on printer paper, basically the paper that you get to just print stuff in offices, which is not true. And I did think it was quite funny that he told me that, and I reassure him that that's not the paper I use. It just happens to be quite thin because I don't pencil sketch straight onto the paper. But I guess they just assumed I just trashy paper. And yeah, and I did tell him that I'm using thicker paper for volume 4 Well, we both found it quite funny, but he was adamant that that's what they told him, that I used kind of printer paper for my comics, which is not true. And I guess also a lot of comics are done in A3, and the pages that I sold in Paris from volume 3, they're in A4, which is, I guess, quite uncommon. But uh, I'm not I'm not involved in the standards, industry standards of BD and French comics. Neither am I involved in the standards of American comics. I've always just done comics my way, and I keep on changing the process. I don't claim to know it all, and I just do what works for me. Here we go. All right. I think we're all set up. We had a little chat about the paper I use. And now let me place you guys in a place where I can actually see the chat when messages come up, and I can actually ink at the same time. There we go. We're going to work on this panel first, which is aerial view of Amelia running, which you can see her there, quite small. If I could draw a single issue of any mainstream property, what would it be? Hi, Edson. Thank you for your question. Single issue, that would be a really good question, actually. I mean, I guess the easiest answer to that would be Hellboy, because that would be a kind of a dream come true. I would love to draw Hellboy. But there's a lot of other stuff out there, but Hellboy would be my go-to. I grew up with a lot of comics from Spawn, from McFarlane, and I think that will be a little kind of dream come true for me to kind of draw Spawn one day. But I don't really know how that works. Sorry guys, just so you can see here, I'm making sure that there's enough ink on my pen and it's not a lot that is gonna basically stain the paper. I think that should be enough. Hopefully we'll keep on running. All right. Yeah, Rob. If the paper works for me for what I'm doing, then that's what it is. But I guess people get precious about paper and materials, and I get it. If you're a collector and you pay a lot of money for one of my pages, and I guess you expect it to be in a certain paper that says premium to you, but it's not that I was chipping out on getting the right paper. It's just I need the paper to be thin enough for me to be able to see the light table the way you guys can see it here. If this paper was thicker, I wouldn't be able to see anything, and it would make the whole thing quite pointless. Okay, so what I'm drawing now is a gigantic chain that drips all the way from the bottom of the gate at Birdking's castle. Right here. Okay, just guys, give me a second. I'm gonna close the door in my studio. All right. Okay, Ben. TV show Max. Oh wow, headroom is one of a kind of pencil drawings, a big poster size. All right, Ben is about to give us the download of transparently thin paper. Yeah, there you go. If it works, it works. And obviously there is paper with very thin grammage for a reason. And anyway, if you frame it, it doesn't matter what paper it's on, even if you truly use printer paper, which I am not using printer paper, but just to make a point about it. Okay, it's a big chain here. You can see here I'm deviating a lot from the sketch on the back, because as I'm drawing, I'm realizing the perspective is a bit off. So let's see. Okay, you guys can see it there. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, kind of selling original artwork in France has given me a new kind of insight into what people are after when it comes to buying originals, etc. So that obviously has pushed me to kind of try different materials and and be more aware of what I produce. Whether when I first started doing traditional art for Birdking, it was just a matter of hitting deadlines and trying to do it in the best possible way for the comic to be published. And it's a combination of things. It's not bad. Obviously, now there is a sense of pride that comes with finishing a page and having this kind of nice piece of art in an A3 thick paper that you can display somewhere. Whoa, Cool Tunes is in the room. Hey man, how are you? Um, I was on time today, and you're the one who were late today. So there we go. But if I remember well, it's quite early for you. So good morning. All right. So more bits of chain here. You can see in the rough, I didn't draw the chain properly, so I'm paying the price for it now. I think my idea behind this shot is that the chain looks as if when you drop a massive kind of anchor from like a big boat in the bottom of the sea. Okay. I'm gonna, guys, move you here. There we go, so you can see more of it. Oh, thanks, Ben. I'm really pleased with how that angel card came out. There was a moment where I thought it wasn't going to print properly. The printers, I mean, for those of you who are aware of how printing foil works, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. And they came to me with some issues, and I just thought I was going to have to lose out on the money that I spent printing those cards. I printed about 200 of them, and I was just kind of ready to take the L for it. And then they arrived and they were perfect. So I was delighted to see how they turn out. And I hope all those of you who are in the right tier to get the Angel card are enjoying it and have the card as part of your deck, or you're keeping it somewhere safe and precious. And also, I'm excited about the next card. So for those of you who take part in the token polls that I do on Patreon, the next card that we're working on is the vampire card, and I'm quite excited about it. I've been watching Gundam Wing all over again, the Gundam from the 90s. And it's really cheesy, but the character design in that show is really, really cool. And it kind of, I don't really know, I find it quite inspiring. And I really want to get a kind of Napoleonic vibe for the vampire. So for now, all I know is that I want to get a vampire with long hair and some kind of Napoleonic uniform. We'll see. We'll see what I end up doing, but that's kind of what I have in mind right now. No, I have not seen the new GQX. As if you were here earlier in the in the chat, time is not something I have a lot of these days. As I'm sure a lot of you don't, time becomes more precious. So whatever you kind of dedicate your time on is a big decision. And I guess I watch a lot of the shows while I'm here in the studio sketching and drawing. And it usually has to be shows that I've seen 1,000 times, so I don't have to focus on them, and I can just kind of watch them and enjoy my favorite scenes. But if it's like a new show, I'll probably have to actually take time to sit down and watch it. And right now, it's not something I can do. But I have a long list of things that I really want to watch, and I'll get to it when I get to it. Also, my partner and I, we've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance the last few days. That's taken a lot of our free time, but at least it's kind of time that we can spend together playing a fun game and just being knights and killing people around the realm. All right, so let me see. Trying to get the perspective right here. A lot of the times, I don't think much about the perspective for the shots. I think I talked about this a little bit on the last live stream, where perspective is something that I've learned to kind of, well, what's the word for it? I've learned to make it look like I know about perspective, but I really don't. I try and use this kind of fish eye views to make it seem like I know what I'm doing. But the perspective is always kind of wrong in these shots. I just exaggerate a lot of bits from the camera view, and that somehow makes it easier for me to kind of make it work. So a lot of the shots that I do, aerial shots and things like that, they really don't make sense. So you can see it here. If someone with real kind of perspective art training was, if they were to look at my shots here, they will point out everything that's wrong with them. Okay. This is supposed to be a little shield here. Ink it. A little head, arm, and a little bag. Glove. I guess you guys can't see it. It just looks like a little smudge, but this is supposed to be like a little statue in the grass. There you go. Same here. That's another guy. And that's a sword. Okay. Oh, Kieran is here. Hello, hello. And I'm going through your messages right now, guys. Let's see. Ben. Yeah, Ben gets it. You know, lack of time, lack of focus. Cool tunes. Yep, that's right. You know, comics is takes a lot of time, and whoops, sorry about that. And you know, you have to be quite picky about what you spend your time on. And as you all know, we have different things in life that we want to spend time on, and we have to decide what our priorities are: relationships, friends, fitness, health, cooking, diet, all of these things that take a lot of time. You know, art, career, etc. All right. This pen seems to be drying up, which I'm not happy about. Let's have a look and see what's going on. All right, so I'm going to do two things with that. I'm going to get a little bit of water. Right here. I'm going to pull you out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Turn that off. I'm going to wet that nib a little bit, and this is very watery ink basically, and what it does is it gets the nib a bit wet, but it doesn't get it so watery that you don't see any ink. Okay, all right, that should do it for now, and we're going to push a little bit of ink through the converter right here. Oh, I see there is no ink. Oh, guys, I'm going to have to reload in front of you guys. All right, that's going to be messy. But c'est la vie. Hopefully I won't make a mess right in front of all of you and ruin the entire page. Let me bring something that I can put there. Right, so we're going to put this here and hopefully not make a mess while charging. I think this is the second time I've had to do this on a live stream. It's not ideal, but it needs to be done. So, all right, I've got this bit of ink here, and we're going to remove the converter. Yeah, we've got only a little bit of ink. Can I clean it a little bit? And here we go. This is the bit where it gets messy, so wish me luck. Okay. put it in. I hope for the best. Okay, seems okay. We'll clean it. Place the bottle of ink before I make a mess with it. Put it aside. And here we go. Okay, back in there. Push a little bit of ink. There we go. Cover it. And then test it. Here we go. Seems okay. All right, that's actually quite a fairly successful ink loading here, which doesn't happen very often. So let's hope that's all we have to do for now. Back on the light table here. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so Kieran knows the pain of loading up a phantom pen, and thank you, Rob. All right, let's carry on. So we'll carry on kind of adding texture here. These are bits of grass, so I'm just gonna kind of do it like that. Okay, and I can draw Amelia, who's very tiny here. Running. There you go, that's Amelia there. Not much of a complicated sketch of her. But that should do it for now, and then we'll kind of move in and do the perspective of the grass eating away the road. Doesn't have to be quite perfect. I think the more wonky it is, the better. Okay. We add texture lines, and we'll add some of these little tiny statues that you find around Birdking's castle, all dotted around the grass. You see them here. You can do little bits of stone. Right, and I can finish up the top part of the gate. Texture. There we go. We are getting there, and the perspective is kind of working out somehow, so happy days. All right, let's try and I'll move you guys there. You can see it. It's working out. By the way, guys, I'm not sure if a lot of you are aware of it. I had a online course where I show you how to kind of design a character, how to put it together on Procreate, and kind of sketch thumbnails, work on composition, how to kind of keep a sketchbook. It's a course I created quite a few years ago, and it was quite popular. I sold it for a while on my website, especially to patrons, because they had a discount on it, and everyone seemed to find it quite useful. So anyway, I've been approached by a new platform, and they're gonna make it available there for you to buy. And yeah, if you haven't had the chance to do the course and you're interested, let me know. There is a link for kind of registration landing page. And if you're interested in doing the course, when you register there, you get a little discount to do the course in this new platform. But if you've done the course before or you have the files, it's pretty much the same thing. So don't bother. If you've done it, you've done it, and I'm glad you enjoyed the course. But if you haven't, this is your chance to do it, and I'll happily send you a link to register and kind of get a lower price than what is going to be released on. Okay. Okay, maybe if I add a little bit of texture here, it will create the illusion of perspective here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, that worked. And you can see here what I mean by forcing perspective. It really doesn't make sense here. It's just a bunch of lines. And yet somehow when you put it all together, it certainly looks like you're having a top view of the gate. And I guess I've learned very early on that when you curve lines, perspective stops making sense, but your eye tends to kind of force it in your brain. So you think it's a perspective that kind of works and makes sense, but it really doesn't. So that's kind of what I do. Obviously, through the years, it's become part of my style, but in a way, it's part of my lack of knowledge of true perspective, which is very difficult to achieve, and it takes a lot of work and practice. Okay. More grass here, maybe a little bit of stones eaten by the grass. And with my comics and a lot of the shots that I do, I obviously my aim is not to make everything look realistic. I mean, I'm sure you guys know that. My aim is to kind of capture a mood, and let's say right now I'm drawing this gate from Birdking's castle, and I want the reader to kind of look at this shot and truly feel the vibe of it, truly feel the kind of this kind of epic place that has been deserted and something bad happened here. All you see is destruction, and I just kind of want to show that. And to me, capturing that mood is a lot more important than getting the perspective right or making everything look realistic. Okay. Got bits of grass here and there. There's some stains there. Also, you can see how a lot of my black kind of fill out inking is quite random. There is no real methodology behind it. There's a lot of gut feeling stuff that you get through I guess, experience from just doing the same thing over and over again. Thanks, Kieran. Appreciate that, man. Okay. Here we go. Okay, we only got this statue here and a bit of grass there that helps the perspective. So you see how I am making the grass point in that direction, which really helps the force perspective that I'm trying to kind of make the illusion of here. Okay. Guys, this pen is giving me a lot of trouble today. It probably knows I'm in a live stream and it's trying to make me look bad. Okay. Okay, let's hope it doesn't splatter, which has happened before. And it's very common with this type of pens, but oh, okay, we're doing okay. We'll force perspective here with grass and put more force perspective grass here. Got a few stones in the background here. You can't really see them. So maybe we'll just do a bit of black patching here. A texture, bits of grass here and there. You can see in the rough, I've got a few stones and things that I haven't gone over. A lot of the time I decide on the spot not to trace a few things that I thought were a good idea when I did the original rough. And that's okay. It's okay to change your mind, you know. Okay. Okay, I think we got a shot. Let's have a look. I'm gonna switch off the light table. Bang. And that's oh guys, I've got a feeling that, let me see, I've got a feeling that one of my lenses is dirty, so look away from the camera. I'm going to clean the lenses and hope that that helps. That's a lot better. There we go. So that's the shot. You can see it there, and you can see it with the light table on, and that's panel 1. That's all done. Let's move on to panel 2 and 3, which you can see is basically the same shot, but we got Amelia running from one side to the next one, which in theory means Birdking, which is right in the middle, should look the same in both panels. Obviously, I'm not a machine. I can't draw exactly the same thing twice, but I'll do my best. Probably the best way to do this is to follow the actual rough as close as possible and then make changes at the same time to both. We'll see how it goes. Move this pens here, getting in the way. All right, so we go Jada Cooper. Wonderful perspective. Thank you so much. And thank you for the comment about the chains. It means a lot to me, guys. Honestly, I as you guys heard me before, I don't consider myself to be an expert on perspective. So the fact that you guys think it's okay, that means a lot to me. Thank you. After, I focus a lot on line work, mostly when it comes to characters. So when it comes to backgrounds and stuff like that, I've been winging it quite a lot. So thank you. Okay, got the shoulder here. Okay. I need to remember to do that here. I've changed something about the arm. We are all winging it indeed. Yes, you're right. Yeah, we kind of pretend like we know what we're doing, but we really have no idea what we're doing, and we are all winging it. And I guess sometimes you wing it long enough that it looks like you know what you're doing, and then all of a sudden people are asking you advice on it, on how on how you've been winging it, and it feels a bit strange. Okay. Yeah. Just wing it. That is my advice. Just wing it. Everyone else is doing it. Might as well you do it. You do it yourself. It's true though. When you're a student or when you're learning a new craft, you assume someone has all the answers. There is the perfect magic pen out there. There is something that will instantly give you that look that you're looking for. And the reality is it doesn't exist. Is Even your art heroes, they've been winging it all this time, and eventually it just became a thing. Okay. I was chatting to someone about it the other day, how I've met people who've gone to university or they've done comic courses, like they've actually gone and done comic studies. They've been taught how to do a comic, and I find that fascinating because I always wanted to do that, but I never had a chance. So I would love to know what it's like to go to a comic course, and what kind of stuff they teach. Yeah, it's a very strange thing. When I went to university here in the UK, um, I did a degree called illustration, which focuses mostly on, well, what was back then editorial illustration, which is the kind of tiny illustrations you used to see on magazines and newspapers, and it's a lot of traditional kind of drawing stuff, which is really cool. But if you ever mention that you wanted to do comics, they will give you a weird look. As comics are not they're not respected the same way they can be in places like France. In here in the UK and the US, we have this idea that comics are for children, and especially in academia and universities. At the time, it wasn't like a thing to do comics as a professional, and therefore I find it quite funny and strange that this very same university that um, that had this kind of a stance about comics back then, they invite me to well, not give lectures, but talk to the students about my career and about what I'm doing now, which is mostly comics basically. So yeah. But that all to say that I'd love to do a course on comics one day. um, Again, because I've always had this feeling that I've been winging it. I have no methodology. I have no technique. It's just me telling the stories the best way I can, and that I'm sure there is a structure and there's a lot of techniques that I missed out on for not learning from actual professionals. All right. Thank you for spending your lunch here, and have a lovely rest of your day. And Kieran, yes, learning from mistakes. That is kind of the way I go about it, really. you try and error. You know, it's a powerful tool for learning. Try and error. Okay. Right, so I finished the shot. Now I have to attempt to make it look exactly the same here, especially Birkin. Well, let's see how that goes. Hey, Mr. Doodlin, all the way from Mexico. Whereabouts in Mexico? I went to Mexico City a couple of years ago and I loved it. I know, obviously, when people talk about Mexico, they instantly talk about the capital and all the kind of beachy places. But I really enjoy Mexico City. It was such a wonderful place to be at. Um, well, thank you, and I'm glad that you're here. And you said you're a new fan. Tell me, how did you find out about my work? Was it through one of my comics, or was it online on Instagram? Tell me about it. I'm always quite curious about how people find my work. Uh, yeah. Okay. Ooh, long line here. There we go. Okay, same here. Ooh. I'm trying to follow the sketch, but also trying to look at the inking of it just now, so it doesn't look too different. Yeah, there's a lot to do in Mexico City. It's a really vibrant place. The food is delicious. There's a lot of murals, a lot of really cool museums to visit. I had a blast, honestly. It was a great place. I know a lot of people travel to see beachy places and relax. When I travel, I like to see big cities and kind of metropolitan areas. I kind of enjoy that a lot. I took the tube in well, what they call the metro in Mexico City too. That was fun. Uh, I also did it through the rush hour, so uh, I got packed against a bunch of people on one of the trains, which I've experienced in many cities. I've done it in Paris. I did it in Tokyo, and it's always a bit of an experience um, going through the rush hour of a city. Okay, all right, here we go. Got this guy here. All right, so let's try to do the chest the same way I've done it there. Okay. Ah, this is drying up. Don't dry on me. Oh, it's really drying up, isn't it? Here we go. Okay, we're back. All right, so let me try and do the hand the same way I've done it there, which goes up here, goes there, then it goes here. Then you get an extra finger there, and then you move with this one right here. Okay. As I said, it's not going to look exactly the same, but you know, when you read it, you kind of you get the idea that is the exact same shot, and Birkin hasn't moved. Okay. All right, so we got All right, so you found me through Instagram, and you will get the first volume of my comic soon. That'll be great. Thank you. And MF, have I ever considered doing watercolor? Oof. I mean, MF, have you've seen people print onto watercolors, can't process. Plus originals. Wait a minute. So let me read that again. Have ever considered doing watercolor Birdking pages? I've seen people scan, print onto watercolor, scan for the process. Oh, I see. Uh, well, I haven't, and obviously the main reason for that is that I'm awful with watercolors. I don't really know how to use them. I found watercolors to be quite unpredictable and very difficult to use. Um, when I see people who use watercolors, I'm always in awe at how uh, skilled they are. You know, it's a very unpredictable medium, very hard to control. So it's not something I can venture in very easily. Right? Okay, we got this here. So I'll draw the same background, and then I'll draw Amelia right after. Then we'll draw the sword. Okay, so that's kind of fairly similar to the shot on the top. Oh, okay. So you enjoy storytelling. Cool. Nice one. All right. Okay, so time to draw Amelia running off the shot. Go a little here. Okay. Voila. Okay, and we'll finish that here. What have I got for dinner today? That is a good question. I've got some sweet potato fries. I've got some minced pork that I'm going to cook with some ginger, some garlic, and some soy sauce, and possibly some broccoli, just because I'm a grown up and I need to eat healthy. So that's kind of it, really. For dessert, possibly a bit of Greek yogurt with fruit. Again, because I'm trying to be a healthy adult. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna use a different pen, but it looks messy the moment I opened it here. It does sound nice. How about you, Kieran? What are you having for dinner? Tell us, what's the plan? All right. Okay. Let's give this a try. Here we go. We're back in business. So I'm only going to do a little bit of the edges, and then I'm going to use a big brush to do the rest. Here we go. Only the edges, so you can see a bit of texture. And to just make it quicker, I'll use a big brush to the center of it. All right, okay. Let's see here. And where's my big brush? Here we got this guy. And let's give it a shot. Oh, Jonas, this little, yeah, I know what you mean, but it's usually, it dries very quickly, the ink that I use. So, no, I never thought about it, but now that you said it, I should think about it. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't put it on top of a page. So far, nothing has happened, so maybe that's why I'm a bit cocky about it. But yeah, I shouldn't do that. Thank you. can be quite careless sometimes, so you're right, I should be more careful. Okay, we'll do this now here. Nice. All right, guys, yeah, no worries, don't panic. We'll put it somewhere away from the actual page, and it'll be okay, I promise. All right, let's fill this one in now. Also, I realized the shoulder. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Fantastic! What a goddamn mess. Okay. Whoop. All right, it's out of the way. So, Mr. Doodlin, Birkin. It was a combination of things. I did a little sketch of Birkin when I was in an office job. So I was in a meeting that I wasn't too interested in, and I just started kind of sketching. And at the time, I was playing Dota 2. It was one of my favorite games at the time. I was quite addicted to it too. There was a character there that kind of I was using a lot. Again, I forget the name. I think he was called the Undead King or something like that. He was really cool. He had a big sword. He had a big armor, and you could die twice. So it was a pretty cool character. And I was trying to draw something like that out of boredom, and I drew an early version of Birkin there. And years later, when I quit my job, I developed that sketch into what we know as Birkin today. And I made a poster of Birkin with colors and the birds, and it was all kind of aesthetically pleasing. There wasn't any substance to it. I just wanted to draw a cool character. Eventually, it was such a popular character online. It was popping up in a lot of Pinterest boards and accounts on Instagram and stuff. I decided to kind of make a story with him. I thought it's a character that clearly people like. I have to do something with him, and it just kind of happened organically. Okay, so I'm gonna check the chat. So, cool tunes. So you say you use Sharpies. I mean, Sharpies are not unprofessional in any way. I still use Sharpie sometimes. I guess with the years, I've had a chance to kind of experiment with different materials now. So I guess you kind of eventually pick the ones that work for you. But I don't think that any of them are more professional than others. You know, if it works for you, it works for you. Um, so you're asking me if the CROM character will be in Birkin Volume 4. It won't be in Birkin Volume 4, but a little tip, guys. I drew myself in Volume 2 of Birkin. And, oh, guys, look at this. Look at that. Look at this fucking thing. A spot of black. I'm going to have to leave it there, let it dry, and then patch it up later. Didn't even notice how that happened. Oh my god, Jonas, you're right. I'm too careless. Too fucking careless, man. All right, never mind. We'll have to live with that. We'll dry it. All right, so let's see what else is Jonas saying. You should look up Paul Angeli. He's an experienced storyboard artist, and his main tools are Sharpies. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Yeah, man. The materials, they're not what make you. Is whatever you do with them. All right, so let's draw these shots, and let's ignore that bit of black ink that fell on my page, ruining the whole thing. Actually, it could be worse. So sometimes you kind of have to kind of flow with the mistakes. Sorry guys, I'm trying to unscrew my pen without making a mess. I don't want to do it on top of the page. All right. Here we go. Okay. We're back. Let's do it. Let me move you more above the shot here. There we go. X is there, so I know that I have to fill in with black later. Okay. Okay. Okay, time to draw the boots. Pen is drying again. Oh god. We'll do the text now. Which, funny thing about the text, obviously, we first published the book in English, so I write everything in English here. But in France, they have a very talented person who goes through every single bit of text in every page of Birdking, and she makes the whole thing look like I've drawn it myself, and she writes it in French. So she basically kind of does an amazing kind of I don't really know if it's a Photoshop job. She does something. Obviously, she rewrites the whole thing, but she makes it look exactly how I did it in English. And it took me by surprise because for the longest time I didn't realize the French version had all the text changed inside. And obviously, I don't mean the speech bubbles. I mean the kind of sound effects and this kind of text that I draw onto the pages. Which takes me back to this collector that I met in France recently who bought one of my original pages, and he was also shocked that the pages were written in English. I guess he expected to see them in French. Okay. Okay, he is here. I will do some shaky lines here, shaky lines here. Maybe a bit of dirt flying around. And we carry on. He is here. Okay, what if a sentence is bigger in French? You almost have a wizard. Yeah, yeah, they do some amazing work down in France with the text. Obviously, not all the sounds must translate in a convenient way, but you know, it's been three entire volumes. They've made it work so far. So yeah, I'm always impressed by it. It's amazing stuff they're doing down there. All right. Yeah. Voila. All right. So also I've got this division line here. I want to do it with a bit of texture, but I have no idea what brush to use for that. It needs to be thicker than what I usually use, although I'm not crazy about this brush. Let me kind of have it. It doesn't feel right, and I just kind of jump to it. Oh man. I think I have to commit to it now. All right. Take a break and I'll do it again, okay? Here we go. Okay. Shit. Whew. Guys, I just kind of jumped uh, straight into drawing it without thinking about it. That could have gone very wrong. But voila, it actually works. So that's how the page is looking so far. Now we're gonna draw Bianca, who looks very dramatic there. Let me see if I can use a thicker pen for that, for this one sketch. Let's see. That's right. I'm just winging it, man. And you can tell that when it works, it's great, but there is no guarantee of things going well. Spreading my wings right now, constantly doing it. Goddamn cowboy here. Okay. All right. Question for all you all: fantasy or sci-fi? Ooh. Uh, that's a good question. I think if I'm pushed to it, I'll go fantasy. But I do have a soft spot for sci-fi. Um, I think in my early days of comics, I always dream of doing a kind of space opera kind of thing. I'm a fan of Alien. One of my favorite films is Moon, and I always loved the idea of introducing your characters while they're having breakfast in a spaceship, and everyone has a function and everyone has a personality. I think it's such a good narrative tool, and it fascinates me. And I always thought I was going to do a big sci-fi story as a comic book, and it hasn't happened just because fantasy calls me, and I guess I'm more involved with fantasy. But one day. Ooh, yeah. I got asked to be part of the rebooted heavy metal magazine. I guess it was a conversation that I never pushed for. But I'm quite curious as to see what they do. Obviously, currently I'm working with Humanoids Associés in France, who basically are the original heavy metal metal Elan, and I'm working on a comic for them. So I guess I want to get that out of the way before I get involved with the American heavy metal. But it'd be cool to be on both of them. Yeah, and I've seen some actual previews of the cover and everything, and it looks really cool. So really excited to see what they actually do with it. Oh, running out of ink here. Now again, let's see. Okay, I actually have ink here, so that's pretty good. Let's see what's going on with. So you're actually running out of barbarian books to read. Oh, okay, cool. Headlopper. Oh, the Witcher comics. Oh, interesting. The Witcher comics. Yeah, I think Daniel, the writer of Birdking, he's currently working on a Witcher comic right now, which is quite exciting. I can't wait to see what he writes for it. And I haven't had a chance to read them, but I'm sure they're really cool too. Okay. I'm gonna have to do all these little lines here. Let me, if I can move my bracelet, it keeps on getting in the way. It looks cool, but it's not ideal for when you're drawing. So, okay. Cool Tunes. What IP should I do a variant cover of? Which one will be your kind of wish list of IPs that I should do variant covers for? I kind of got asked this question before you arrived to the chat about what comic I would love to do from an established IP, and I already said Hellboy, which I guess is quite obvious to a lot of people. But yeah, which one will be your selection for me to do a variant cover of? Okay. Oh, Grey Mouse, that's really cool. Pretty cool stories. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, guys, time to do these tiny weird lines that I've done here. I'm kind of regretting it a little bit, but I think it adds impact to the shot. So let's uh, let's not be lazy and let's stick to it. Here we go. Can you see the lines there? All right, I'll move you a little bit to the left so you can see them. Okay, I'm gonna remove the charger. All right. Okay. And we move up. There's a bit of particles flying about here. And we move on to the text, which is Agul. Oh wow, yeah. I mean, when you are writing your first books, and you're doing everything, colors, writing, editing, promotion, it is quite tough, but it's a labor of love. And that's why when you go to Comic Cons, you gotta have some respect for people there, because they are pouring their souls and hearts into those comics, and in a lot of times they're spending all their money printing them. And man, it's intense. It's a lot of work that goes into a little comic, even if it's only like a 10-page comic. And I know Cool Tunes is doing a 150 pages comic, I think, or 140, which is mad. um, okay. Oh, ink. I did. We have the same page count for our comics. Breaking Volume 4 is about the same as your comic, so I'll never forget that. We're aiming for the same page count, and believe me, I know how much work it goes into it. And yeah, I have nothing but respect for you, man. Okay, look at it to the eye. I mean, partly this is why I really enjoy doing these live streams, because you feel a sense of camaraderie here, where you're not just sitting in your studio by yourself, kind of hoping that this comic or this work goes somewhere. When you're doing it on a live stream like this, you know that there are people behind you who actually support you and believe in your work. And it's very easy to forget that when you're in your studio by yourself for hours inking and stuff. And it can be quite self-indulgent, which is good, but also, it's I've said it many times here, it's a very lonely profession. We are a thieves guild for sure, yeah. All right, gonna ink it here now. Oh, I like the sound of that. Dark Brotherhood, that sounds really cool. I love that. All right. All right, I'm gonna switch off the. Oh no, wait! I need to kind of work out what's happening here at the bottom of the page. Uh, yeah, I can't just kind of ignore this. I need to do something about it. Oh, my bad, guys. I'm drawing in parts of the paper that you can't see. As I'm getting to the edge here, I'm just planning everything that needs to be in black. It's gonna be a bit of big blackout here. So I need the brushy brush here. This guy. Jumping into action with this guy once again. Here we go. Let me see if I can give you some distance. There we go. All right. This brush is pretty useful, you know. You can get texture, and if you press it here a little bit, like right here, you get more ink and get it a lot darker. Quite enjoying this little brush. Okay. Now it's going to take a while filling all of that in with black. Okay, so let's have a look at how things are looking, how the whole page looks overall without lines. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I need to fill all of that in with black. Wherever you see a tiny X, that's what I need to fill in with black. But I think we got a good page so far. I just need to do the lines of the actual frames and fill in the text. Then all of these bits does, you know, it's quite repetitive, it's quite mechanical, but I enjoy doing it. So I might do that off screen and get dinner going. Hopefully, go to bed early tonight, like an old man. So yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I really enjoyed today's session. It really got me in a good mood. Keep it up with all of your projects, with all of the stuff in your lives. If you draw, keep on drawing. Don't stop. You know, art for the sake of art's sake is what I think should be prevalent. So anyway, I'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you all for spending time here. And yeah, that's all. Thank you. Bye.